Hey guys, you're watching Divide by Zero. I am Terminal or Brent. I'm here with Tony the Tiger, or Hugh, or Tony, or whatever you want to call him, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a LOL replay here. We finally got the LOL replay recorder add-on to work because it is not officially, like, it's not something Riot developed, it's a third-party add-on, so it still has a couple bugs. It doesn't always work the greatest, so we had a bit of a struggle with it, but we finally got it working. And so we're going to be doing some casts here. Hugh, or Tony, unfortunately not in this game, so he's a little bit sad about that. But he's going to be casting this replay with me anyway. And if you look at the teams right here, we do have Arri playing as Malzahar, myself playing as Shen, and then we have a Jungle Shaco, Twisted Fate, and a Pantheon, and we are going up against Soraka, Morgana, Ashe, Rammus, and Gangplank.
Yeah, so as Brennan said there, I am Anthony. That's my real people name, as they say.
Yeah, we decided to just, we're so terrible at not just name dropping in our videos that we just decided to give up on it, like not even try. So,
but yeah, I've been told that this is a quite spectacular game, and I'm looking forward to some spectacular play.
I do believe this Ashe loads very slowly, so we're going to be on this loading screen for a little while, and I would fast forward past it, but last time I tried to fast forward through a loading screen, I actually broke the entire replay, so we're going to not do that, and we're just going to have to wait this out.
Yeah, like we said, it's not an official replay add-on. It's third party. It's called LOL Recorder. It's definitely pretty well known.
Yeah, if anybody wants it, I'll try to find the link that I got it from and put it down in the description so other people can pick this up if you want to start recording some of your own games. It's really nice. It just runs in the background and it records every game you play, so it's a nice tool to have.
Free as well, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, free. Doesn't really tend to cause performance issues or anything when it's recording, so overall works out pretty well. I've actually never noticed this statue before here, so that's kind of cool. I'm getting distracted. I have a short attention span. So yeah, Shaco is jungling, as I mentioned, which means that Arri is going to be going top as Malzahar, and is going to be in solo lane. Twisted Fate is taking the mid, and then I am going to go down bottom with Pantheon. And right here, Malzahar, Twisted Fate, and Shaco are going to be hovering around here just to protect the blue buff in case the other team comes and tries to take that. I did point out to Arri at this point that right now, Twisted Fate is in the bush, Shaco's in the bush. He is not, so if anybody comes, he's going to die pretty quickly, and he'll same kind of back up against the wall here so that he can flash over it if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, you're usually safe, especially at the ELO that we play, and I mean, not a lot of people try and do that. But I mean,
true.
Shaco is starting at blue, which is definitely a much more passive route through his jungle. I know if you start at red, you can hit level 2 very fast if you do big Wraith, Golems, red. And it lets you gank really early. But I mean, blue is definitely a lot more consistent. You can get through a lot faster in your jungle just because of that extra mana and the cooldown rates on those boxes.
Yeah, one thing I should mention that Tony just said is that we are at a very low ELL. Don't expect really good professional level play here because it is not what you are going to be seeing. Like,
until I'm in the replays. Once I jump in, we're going like against Hot Shot and Big Fat GG. So.
Yeah, no. Don't expect high levels of play here. This is just this is a bit lower level play so that we can actually look back and see some of the things we've done wrong. So this is not super high level professional. This is, if anything, to actually kind of learn and see what we do wrong. Right here, Pantheon face checks that bush, finds a Gangplank and a Rammus, takes big damage, almost feeds the first blood there. Thankfully, he does get away with about 100 health left, so that was very close.
Taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, due to a lot of damage to Gangplank, both of them forced to use a health pot at this point. Gangplank is probably one of my least favorite champions to lane against just because he can do so much damage with his crits. It's so hard to deal with, and he can push really effectively.
Especially when he starts Mana Potion. I mean, you can just spam that every time off cooldown. That can be definitely something that's real hard to deal with in lane. I know, just easy way to deal with it is just try not to get hit by it, but I mean, overall, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, one problem I actually had early on is that my last hitting this game was really terrible because I was just not able to actually get in and hit the minions because every time I step forward, Gangplank is critting me for like 150. It's terrible, so I was being zoned kind of hard here. Didn't really get a lot of the last hits. Meanwhile, Arri is up in the top lane. He's actually not doing too well either. He's against Soraka and Ashe, which is Not a fun lane for him. Ashe able to do huge damage, and he's pretty much coming out behind in every case of exchanging blows because Soraka will just heal Ashe back up. You can see him getting a little mad there in the chat box. So he's been having some issues. Overall, not a great start for our team. AD champions can be really annoying, especially at the lower levels, just because they can do so much damage to you.
I'd say I'm a little surprised in their lane choices. They do have kind of their normal bottom lane top, actually. An Ashe Soraka combo does actually really well. I mean, at this point, it's not a big deal just because both are duo lanes. We do have Shaco. Looks like he was hanging around for a gank. Looks like he's
yeah,
going
I think he
to
decides to go up to mid. It's worth mentioning he's already picked up the double buff there by level 3, so jungling pretty effectively. Shaco's a very good jungler, worth mentioning. He does go in here, try to get the gank on Morgana. He does do some damage, but she does manage to flash away to her tower, so they're not going to get that. But they did force the flash, they did do some big damage, so overall, pretty much worth it.
If that TF had flashed and got off his card, that was a sure kill. She only had the 100-something health left, so gold card plus an auto attack plus the Q would have definitely been a kill there. A little surprised he didn't flash, but hey, what are you gonna do?
If we look back at top, Arri's actually already been forced to recall, taking a lot of damage from the Ashe, just like we said. AD champ's pretty hard to deal with at this point. And right now it's kind of a back and forth harassment. We really want to try to get this Gangplank because we've gotten down pretty low, and Gangplank is a pretty squishy character. And between my taunt and Pantheon's leap, we actually do have decent range to try to engage that, but at the same time we're both a little bit afraid just because of the pure amount of damage the Gangplank can do, and because Rammus does have the Powerball stun and the taunt, so a little cautious about going to engage that. Rammus going up there, but yeah, he does come right back. I do actually really like this Rammus skin, worth mentioning. And right there, Gangplank crits me for like 200 damage. This is why I don't like him.
Yeah, so I mean, Malzahar is definitely not one of those heroes. Well,
yeah.
I guess I'll hold on to that
I think we
thought.
actually get first blood right here because of the Shaco gank. Shaco does go down. I stick around and try to engage this Rammus longer than I should. Running away here, put the shield up to block that. At this point, I use the taunt to get away from that. Pantheon jumps on Rammus, and Rammus does not want to take the extra turret shots. I don't think he gets the kill there, though, but I do barely manage to get away. I definitely should not have actually tried to fight that Rammus for as long as I did, so that was a little bit of a mistake on my part, and I ended up having to use the Ghost to get out of that alive. But I mean, we did get the first blood, so overall, I'd say that's worth it. And then Twisted Fate getting the kill on Morgana up top.
Very nice.
One thing that I'm not quite as happy about is that I do believe we fed the double buff from the Shaco to the other team there. I think Rammus picked that up. So, actually, if I can look here. Actually, Gangplank got that, and then I'm not really sure who has it then, because I don't know.
I think the buff disappeared. I think Shaco probably got the kill, and it was kind of a mutual death type thing.
I think I ended up getting the last hit on Gangplank, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Whatever. It's a mystery for another time. Yeah, anyway, Pantheon recalling there. Shaco going to try to hold mid right now. Twisted Fate, I think, was going to go and try to gank up top, waiting for Arri or Malzahar to get his ult up and see if they could try to get a gank up there. So we'll keep an eye out there to see if that happens. Down here, we're still just trying to push this while Gangplank is gone. Gangplank, I believe, actually goes to a different lane after this. I don't remember specifically. They do try to go up here. If there's the gank, Soraka does flash away. And I don't think the Malzahar goes down. They do manage to kill the Soraka, though, so that's good. They get the dot on Ashe, but she is going to get away just fine.
Wow. So I'm surprised. That was a pretty good gank. Worked out nicely. Actually, TF going in for the kill. Oh, and he clips her with the kill.
And he oh, no, he dies to minions there, though. That is unfortunate. Gets away from the tower, and then it's rather embarrassing for him.
Ashe doesn't get the kill, though, so that's always a plus.
That's true, yeah. Did come out ahead once again. I actually don't know where this Gangplank has gone off to at this point. I was expecting him to be back down here by now. I saw him kind of in mid around this turret a little while ago, but I'm not really sure.
Possibly he could have been doing... he might have started kind of the jungle route, just because I don't think their team has a jungle.
Actually, I guess he went off to try to get blue buff, and then he is coming up top, taking over up there. So that's going to make pushing this lane a lot easier for us, because now it's just a Rammus that we have to deal with. And Rammus, not as big of an issue. Good at team fights, not as great in laning, especially solo lane. So
I know exactly why that ult was used. I mean, it was just one creep wave.
This
so.
Gangplank was a little bit trigger happy with this ult. We did see it at some less than ideal times. I did see him going around in the bushes here, so not really sure what he's trying to set up for. Do see Malzahar in that bush, but he does recall. They don't really try to go for it. Meanwhile, I think our Twisted Fate might be going around to try to get a gank on this Morgana right now, or maybe he's just going to like farm wraiths. Not sure. I didn't really pay much attention to anything besides our own lane when we first played this, so I don't have a great sense of what goes on at other parts of the map right here.
Looks like TF is in their jungle going for the red. I guess he's not actually going to get the red, he's just looking around. If we look at Gangplank, does he? No, so he didn't pick up red. Looks like TF really wants that, but I don't know, it's a little bit risky. I mean, your own red is up. Surprised he's hanging around the forest so long.
I guess we did actually have an encounter between Gangplank and Shaco in the jungle here. Shaco kills Gangplank, picks up the blue buff, so that's going to be nice. Helpful for the Shaco, and here Gangplank says, "You're welcome."
I think
better hand delivered, I think he says.
I think it was Gangplank got a little greedy on trying to take the blue, and he died because of it.
Yeah. Gave the blue buff over to our Shaco, and Shaco now going here, trying to pick up the red buff again and get his double buff back after he lost that in a little bit of the unfortunate gank earlier. Meanwhile, we're still trying to push this lane. Problem with Rammus, I mean, like I said, he's not the greatest at laning because he can't push very effectively, but he has so much armor, especially when he does his defensive ball curl. He's really hard to kill. And now Gangplank is back down here, so once again we're going to be forced back and going to be having a little bit of an issue trying to push this.
Yeah, Gangplank is definitely something to deal with, especially when you play crit plank. I know I've definitely had some problems with that, but I mean, it's just one of those things. You buy a lot of pots and you just play defensively, and as long as he doesn't get kills, it does look like the engage is going down there. That's a pretty good ult. I mean, it didn't work out in the favor for Gangplank. Did force a flash and almost got the kill. If he had stayed on that a little bit longer, I think he could have got that kill and still lived.
Yeah, at this point, Gangplank, we see him trying to come down through the jungle to get our Pantheon here. I go back just to taunt the Gangplank to keep him away from Pantheon, but then I realized that I'm actually taking large amounts of damage because, as I've learned many times, taunting an AD champion is rarely a good idea. Meanwhile, we do have the gank from Shaco coming up here, trying to gank Soraka, but a nice ult from the Ashe is going to stun him and lock him down there, so Soraka does manage to get away, I believe. Yep, she's still alive. So, unsuccessful gank there, but they're going to be able to push this a little bit more effectively now, and I think they probably forced the recall on Soraka, so that's going to be good.
I don't know, she's still up there. It does look like bottom tower is going to be taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, Gangplank doing a lot of damage here. He's able to just destroy this turret really hard. The minions coming in here. Now we do have the Pantheon ult going down, and it is actually going to force them back though. One more hit and they could have taken that out, but they decided to try to run away instead. Doing a lot of damage to the Rammus. Running in here, I try to get the taunt. I missed the taunt, but Pantheon does hit it with the spear, and that combined with my sword manages to take the Rammus down. Gangplank does get away, but we do manage to save this turret with only 27 health.
I'm surprised they, especially Gangplank, I'm surprised he left so early.
Yeah, I think that was just a little bit of a misclick on his part. He easily could have taken out that turret and still probably gotten away safely.
But I mean, it's got 27 health. It's going to go down pretty shortly.
You would think that, but spoiler alert, we actually managed to hold this turret for a ridiculously long time before it finally manages to die.
I guess there you have it. Bottom lane is OP.
Exactly. So now we're going to start trying to push this turret a little bit, and we do have the Gangplank ult going down right here, so going to force us back a little bit. Like I said, he is a little bit trigger happy with his ult, doesn't always use it at the best times, like right there, neither of us took that much damage for it, so that was a little bit of a waste of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising there. If we look at the levels on top, I know definitely Malzahar isn't one of the better double 2v1 laners, so he is 9, and if we look at 7 and 7, so he's holding out actually pretty well. Obviously he's had to go back a couple times, he'd be a little bit higher in levels otherwise, but we can't really tell how his tower's doing 100%, but we do know that, I mean, he's out-leveling them, which he should be. And overall 7-1, so kills is definitely going in your team's favor. So.
Yeah. We actually have a pretty good start here after the early little mishap in all of the lanes. Yeah, we do have Shaco picking up Dragon right there, so nice little bonus for the team. Like we said, Shaco a very good jungler just because he can do large amounts of damage and he can easily do stuff such as solo Dragon at level 8. So that's going to be helpful. I think he does come down to try to help us out with a gank here. No, I guess he's just going back into the jungle. And so we're going to be trying to hold this lane. At this point, we're really cautious about this turret because, like I mentioned, it only has 27 health, so we're trying to keep them away from it. Rammus getting a little overextend there and wisely decides to go back instead of charging headfirst into the turret to try to do a little bit of extra damage.
Surprised he doesn't just run in and auto-attack it once.
Yeah. Although I guess he's a little worried about the taunt probably. Like if I taunted him on turret and then or did that before he managed to kill the turret, he could take a lot of additional damage there, and that combined with like the Pantheon stun.
So Shaco looks like he's setting up to get the gank off. We're gonna see how he does here. He's got to go in now. Now would be the good time.
Yeah, we try to engage right there, but the Rammus does do a good job with the Powerball. 42. Twisted Fate ults in around, stuns the Gangplank. Unfortunately, not before the ult goes down, and I do believe Rammus is going to get away safely.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough damage.
Yeah, if I had landed that taunt, might have been a little bit different. Although I still think he probably would have gotten away.
Getting a kill top. That's very impressive in that lane. Yeah. How is he gonna do against this?
Well, actually, ult in to try to help him. I go for the. I try to get the exhaust off on her. Unfortunately, I wanted to taunt her, but because we just had that engagement down bottom, that combined with my ult left me with pretty much no energy, as you can see. So I couldn't taunt her. I was about to use exhaust, but then she flashed away anyway. So I'm actually kind of glad that she didn't because she
was
would.
2 summoners for it. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Couple turret shots there.
Yeah, I thought there were minions a little bit further up than that. Whatever. Shen is very tanky. He can take a couple turret shots at this level without suffering too much damage. So now we are going to try to push this a little bit, but we see the Gangplank come in, and I run away like a scared little child at this point.
Yeah, not a bad idea, especially with the Gangplank, a couple crits, and could be in definitely a different situation of health. So now we can see that turret, the health on them, they're about equal.
This one's down by about 400 HP. At this point, I do recall, and I'm going to go back to our lane. Twisted Fate, however, doing a nice job taking out the middle turret there, so it's working in our favor.
Yeah, 9-1, up 1 tower. So overall, definitely working towards the team. They should definitely start preparing for another dragon soon. Looks like dragon should be coming up pretty soon. Shaco did get it quite a while ago, forcing that flash. 300. Oh, what a crit.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't live that one. Gangplank.
Gangplank hurts. I was actually telling Arri this game when I saw him die there. I was saying, like, am I responsible for this? And then I looked down and checked to see whether my ult is on cooldown. I realized that it's not on cooldown, and I pretty much... Or it is on cooldown, so I can't use it, and I pretty much use that as my excuse to not care about the rest of the team for a little while. So we do have, Twisted Fate dying up there, a little bit of engagement going on. Shaco does get the kill on Soraka and is going after the Gangplank, but Gangplank is easily going to make it back to turret range. Meanwhile, down here we are still trying to hold this turret, trying to keep Ashe back because we realize that she can pretty effectively one-shot that turret if she gets in range of it. So we're trying to keep this wall of minions forward a little bit and just make sure that they don't get back far enough to try to take out that turret.
Yeah, so they did do the lane switch there with Ashe. Ashe is pretty underleveled. Oh, I mean, she's not that bad for a double lane. I take that back. I was thinking she was solo top, but she's got level 9.
Yeah, she's pretty much the same as us, so she should be fine down here. Meanwhile, we do actually have Mal's going mid for a little while, I think, filling in for the Twisted Fate. And Gangplank's up at top, as you mentioned earlier.
Alright, let's look at some CS and builds. What do we got going on? Looks like our leader on the board is 74 CS. That would be Arri, 75 now. It's a little bit low, but I mean, you know, 70, that's not too bad for 17
I mean, to
minutes.
be fair, like, in solo lane against an AD champ, you're going to get pushed back pretty hard, so I understand that might be a little lower than you're expecting in that
situation.
TF
only has 58. TF is a very strong last hitter. He did opt for kind of an AP build. He has already got his Mage Eyes. If we check out his stacks, we can see how much he has. So one stack at the moment.
2 stacks right
now.
I think he just helped kill that Twisted Fate up there. Or, not
Gangplank.
Twisted Fate. He helped Malzahar kill the Gangplank, is what I was trying to say. He did not kill himself. That would be incredibly ineffective. We do have Pantheon leaping in right there, taunting the Ram. That's going to be doing a little bit of damage. Don't think we're going to get a kill on this one.
I don't know.
He does actually taunt Pantheon, which wasn't the greatest idea. And I do ult to the Pantheon. Trying to debate whether that ult was entirely necessary, and I think if I had gone backwards and tried to kill the Rammus, I might have been able to do it if, say, I'd used my energy on a taunt instead of an ult. But I'm not sure if Pantheon would have made it out at that point, so...
Yeah, I don't know if they were pursuing, but I mean, it's always better to be safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah. So we are going to force the recall. We do have a little bit of a fight going on here. Morgana putting the spell shield on herself. Twisted Fate coming around from the side there.
See if she lands her bind. No, she's going to whiff that one.
Just dodges it and probably saved his life there. Twisted Fate is now going to come around from the side. I think that was a gold card that he just hit Morgana with.
Yeah.
And Gangplank is coming up now, and Twisted Fate's going to decide to run. Nice wall from Malzahar to silence him there, but he does still manage to auto-attack our Twisted Fate to death. So that's the power of AD champs. Silences don't do a whole lot against them, which is really annoying, I have to say.
That plus Ignite, though. He did have to use
That's
Ignite.
true.
Oh, no.
No, it was just a fun, don't worry. Real Shaka would not be dumb enough to turret dive a full health Rammus.
You never know, I guess. But
No, this Shaka was actually pretty good.
that's
He's
good.
going to be trying to steal the enemy's blue buff here and refresh the the duration of his own blue buff. So always nice if you can do that. Put your opponents a little bit behind in that regard. Meanwhile, Pantheon has gone mid to hold that for a little while, and I think it's going to go up top to try to maybe help out Mal's, get a little bit of a gank. This turret getting a little bit weak. It's not actually refreshing properly, so I'm not sure how much it's at. It's a bit below that, I would imagine. Gangplank now in mid, and I'm pretty much solo laning against Rammus at this point. Still trying to defend this 27 health turret.
So, using Shen to get that Aegis of the Legion, definitely being the team player in this one. For you who don't know, Aegis does give a bonus to everyone that stands around you. Unfortunately, this tower now,
Yeah, I
has
tried
no
to taunt
chance.
Rammus to keep him off of it, but it does not work at all.
See if she shoots an arrow.
No, I don't believe she does. Rammus
No.
tries to powerball, but he was. There goes back. Mal's coming down here. Yeah, as you mentioned, Aegis is a very nice item for any tank because it gives a really nice armor magic resist bonus to you, and then it gives a damage buff to allied units. So overall, nice item for the tank on your team to have.
Definitely, definitely. It's always nice to have a Twisted Fate on your team. Extra 2 gold every time you last hit something. Definitely a help late game.
We do have an engagement going on here, stunning the Gangplank there, but he is going to manage to get away. His own ult going down here. Morgana now coming in, Soraka, Shaco. It's really hard to narrate team fights like this just because the health bars don't update. Nice
arrow.
stun from the Ashe there. Although
Still
Shaco does
get
kill
that.
the Morgana.
Twisted
Ashe
Fate
killing
does
the
go
Twisted
down.
Fate, and now Shaco's going to try to engage this Ashe, and that combined with the Pantheon.
See.
Don't think they're going to be able to get here.
Come on, Shen ult.
Oh,
There's
we
the
go.
ult.
Ult on the Shaco, just barely saving him. He does kill the Ashe. Although,
Where'd he
I
go?
actually, I remember. Rammus actually stunned me, so I did not manage to get the teleport. The shield was up, but I did not manage to join that team fight. Very annoying, but...
It's like Shaco suicides himself. Does not get the kill,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I wish I had been up there so I could have taunted, but, kudos to the Rammus there for being able to interrupt that channel. I was actually very confused because I didn't really think that was going
Going
to
for
happen.
the Rammus?
Yep.
That's definitely a kill,
Easily killed the
100%.
Rammus. See, I was very confused at that point because I thought I had teleported, and then I just couldn't figure out where I actually was. And then I hear Arri on Skype saying to me, "Oh, you got taunted. That sucks." And I look down. I'm like, "Oh, I'm still down there."
So if we look on the minimap, would you see Gangplank coming down to try and deal with you?
Yeah, we do decide to go around the bottom there and try to just not push that tower. I think we actually... Okay, I'm just going to say it right now. I completely mess up that taunt. Something about this Gangplank, like, I am completely unable to taunt him. However, we do manage to kill him. Unfortunately, Mal's is going to die to the Ignite there, so... If I had landed that taunt, things might have been different. And that is just the beginning, to be completely honest. Like, I mess up my taunt on that Gangplank so many times. I don't know what it is about him, but... For whatever reason, I'm just terrible at taunting him. Yeah. I think that one, the mouse actually kind of like slipped right as I went to click, and then I'm going off the complete wrong angle, but I can't really make an
It's
excuse.
Morgana
It was
using her
awful.
bind. Offensively, she's going to have to flash. Looks like she's gonna get out of there just fine. She had to Ghost Flash, so those are what those summoners are for. So saving herself there.
And we are now going to start pushing up, see if we can take that next tower, although actually we're going to be smart, decide to recall here. Twisted Fate recalling on Pantheon and I still hanging around, but there are 3 of them, 4 of them now, and we are going to decide to just run away. We don't want to try to fight that because, let's be honest, we would probably lose.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a good idea. I mean, if we look at your money, you've got enough built up, now would be the time to buy, and it worked out pretty nice timing-wise.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back and try to get my boots at this point. So yeah, I'm going to be recalling in this bush. Meanwhile, we look back up top. Mal's just going to be farming a little bit. Mal's is very good at farming just because he has so much AoE abilities between the wall and the pool, and then the dot that jumps between the minions. Shaco looks like he's going to try to come around here and maybe do something with this Ashe, but she's so close to turret that I don't really see what he could actually do. Gangplank and Rammus and Twisted Fate, they're caught completely out of position, so he's going to end up going down.
Yeah, definitely. So if we look at, if we tab, we could probably check on some CS and stuff like that. Looks like Arri still in the lead with 126. Next up is the Gangplank at 101. I mean, overall, not too bad CS. You know, if I was in this game, there'd probably be like a 320 something. Looks like Arri getting caught out of position with the ult.
Yeah, I do ult him to try to save him,
enough.
but it was very stupid. Now I'm gonna get caught down too, I think. So many stuns and slows in this little group between Rammus and Gangplank, and I try to run away at this point. I get to the turret, and then if Gangplank did not have that heal, he probably would have died to this turret.
Yeah, you got double healed by Soraka there.
Yeah.
Finally, the turret does go down. Shaco does pick up the kill.
Picks up the kill there. Unfortunately, not before the turret goes down. He's going to be going after the Soraka here. Twisted Fate ult, so we're going to see if he comes up here somewhere. It's worth mentioning that this was actually after the nerf on the Twisted Fate and Pantheon ults. They used to be global, and now they work a bit more like a Nocturne ult, in that there is a maximum range, so you can't go all the way across the map with them, although I believe they still do have a pretty big range, but that is actually a very big change that's going to probably have a big impact on this game. Actually, I remember earlier you saying that the Pantheon ult came in a little late down here when they were attacking this turret, and that is probably the reason behind that, is just that it was out of range now that I think about it.
There is the Pantheon jump. That's definitely a dead Soraka. Tower diving, I'm not 100% sure about this one. Too many binds for their team, and
Shaco
gonna live with
does
about...
manage to get away with like 40-something health, so
Wow.
risky play there, but it's gonna pay off for him. They do manage to get only 1 kill, I think, there. Actually, they got the Ashe and the Soraka, I guess, so overall it worked out pretty well. Twisted Fate down there. I thought I saw, yeah, there is Gangplank, and I think Twisted Fate's going to be caught out a little bit here, and yeah, he does go down.
That's the problem with recalling in positions like that, especially if they decide to chase. Sometimes you can get caught out of position. It's a little unfortunate, but you know.
Meanwhile, there are a lot of people up top, so Miles and I are going to try to take this opportunity to go up and push this turret a little bit while everybody else is gone.
Always a wise decision to split push, make their team split up as well.
So we're going to start pushing this, and right now we see the guys in mid. I think the ult just did go down here, yep, so Gangplank trying to force us off the turret with that. Which, not the worst use of the ult I've ever seen. Not the greatest,
definitely. I mean, that's kind of the situation you want to use. If you're not going to use it in a team fight, that's the situation you want to use it in. Unfortunately, that Shaco engaged 5 seconds before your ult was up, so that was a little unfortunate.
Yeah. It's always annoying when a person goes down like 5 seconds before my ult comes off. I always feel like a failure when that happens.
Shaco saying, hate, giving off the hate towards that Soraka, which I don't blame him. I mean, Soraka is definitely, in my opinion, 100% the strongest support. That or Sona.
Yeah, she does have very nice heals.
It's always a pain to play against a really good Soraka. So, I mean, but you know, what you're going to do. She doesn't do much else but heal. It's her whole point in the game is to do situations like that and turn the tide of a battle.
Yeah, we do have Twisted Fate down here jungling a little bit. Shaco looks like it's going to go join him. And here we do decide to try to go get Dragon, but their entire team is there, and I think I pretty much just leave Pantheon to die at this point. Actually, I guess he goes around that way, and I ult to him to try to save him, but Gangplank just doing so much damage there, so not really going to be enough.
Yeah,
The
Gangplank's
rest of
gonna
the team
be.
does come around. Shaco caught a little bit out of position, but he was going to stealth and get away, and now we're just going to try to hug this turret and not push out too far.
Looks like that Gangplank getting a little bit offensive there. Oh, Mal's ult completely stopped right when it started. That is extremely unfortunate. I don't know why he flashed in so close. Looks like you're gonna have definitely some problems. Let's see if you can get the taunt jump away. And it looks like Shaco going in for it, getting a kill. Very nice play from Shaco. Looks like he's gonna be A-okay. Actually, that flash might have been too much.
Probably should have just hugged the turret, but then again, he did manage to get away. So, overall, I mean, I guess it worked out for him. I'm kind of wondering if he could have actually managed to kite Ashe around the turret for long enough to get a kill out of that. I'm not really sure. With the Soraka heals, probably not. So I think he did handle that situation pretty well and managed to survive.
Yeah, against the AD hero, you definitely don't want to let them auto-attack. So I think he made the right decision running.
Yeah. So we do have pretty much everybody respawning or recalling at this point to buff up a little bit after that fight, trying to heal up. Pantheon's the only one out here, and I'd actually be very scared at that Pantheon just because we can't see any of their team, and he is all alone right now.
That is true. I definitely want to start seeing some wards go around the Baron area. I think that's going to help out your team a lot to get
Yeah,
map control.
I think we do start Baroning it sometime relatively soon. We have the Gangplank up top, just trying to push that again, and Scooby and Twisted Fate down bottom now. Not a whole lot really going on at this point.
So we look at some item builds. Let's see what Mal's did get on that trip back. Looks like Mal's
He's got
did
the
go for
Sork Shoes, Rod of Ages, so that's going to be a nice boost to his ability power.
turn that into a Rabadon. So just about his Rabadons now, which is huge increase in AP. So he's going to be definitely starting to do his damage now.
Meanwhile, I was building the Thornmail at this point because between the Gangplank and the Ashe, I really wanted that extra return on the attack damage. Thought that was going to be very helpful. So I decided to start building up to that. Shen, that's the one thing in my build that's kind of situational is either Thornmail or Force of Nature, depending on their team composition. At this point, I did decide to go for the Thornmail instead of the Magic Resist.
Arri
Now it's getting a little caught
absolutely
out there,
crushed.
yeah. Tried to ult him, but it just wasn't enough against that amount of damage. So yeah, not the greatest team fight there. I think we did come out behind. It was 5-4. So
Yeah, free
not
pickup on the
greatest.
Mal's there, and I mean Mal's is doing a lot of damage right now, so gotta play very defensively, especially with all these AD carries. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna push turret here and probably get the turret. I don't know if
Yeah, I think
we'll
they
be
do.
able to hold them off.
Yeah, I trying to hold that a little bit, but there's not a lot I can really do against that number of people. The rest of the team coming back, and we're just trying to hold this, but we don't really want to engage them right now, and I think they're going to end up taking the turret at some point. Mal's still about 10 seconds left on the cooldown. So, not a great situation here.
Yeah, especially with a Soraka on their team, they can just constantly push, take tower shots a little bit, and
Yeah, heal right back up.
heal right back and get their mana back. So it's pretty much endless pushing with the Soraka on your team.
Do you
Getting the
get hit
bind,
by
are
the
they
snare
going to
there?
initiate?
No, they are
Doesn't look
not.
like they're going to.
They do get a few shots off, but they don't decide to go for the full initiation. However, they do push right here, destroy the turret. I'm forced to run away.
There's the
ult
arrow
coming in,
on Mal's
nails
again.
Mal's. Unfortunately for him, he was not ulting that time, so didn't get the interrupt. Twisted Fate actually going to be ulting in from wherever he was. I'm not actually sure where he was coming from on that one, but
Maybe at red
he's here
buff,
now.
getting red buff.
Yeah, perhaps. So yeah, they're not going to quite have the strength to push this turret yet. And at this point, they're going to retreat, heal up a little bit, and then try to come back later.
Definitely, I think that's going to be wise for them. They did get the turret. Now is a good time to go back and buy and push again. But I
We
think
do actually have the Dragon Warden. We see them going around here, so we're going to check that out and see if we can try to steal Dragon or try to engage there. However, I think they
feels like Ashe
Dragon
is coming
was
up
actually
a little out of
down,
position.
yeah.
There is the
ult on
ult.
the Ashe. Do manage to take out the Ashe. Pantheon ult coming in. We are almost going to manage to get the Morgana. The spell shield goes up, but we kill her too. I'm on about like 2 health, and then I get killed there. I think we're able to pick up the Soraka here. Yeah, pool goes down right as she tries to flash, and then Twisted Fate comes around and kills her there.
I wouldn't even, if I was Soraka in that situation, just save the flash. I mean, you were pretty much dead either way, but I don't know if she saw the TF there.
Coming out very much ahead, I was the only casualty we had in that battle, and we got down all of them except for Rammus, so definitely ahead here. We're going to take this opportunity to try to push this inner turret. Rammus coming around there to try to defend that, but against 3 people, there's not a whole lot he can really do, and I think they do actually get the ace there. Yes, they do. Mal's picking up that last kill, and now they're just going to have about 5 seconds to kill that turret before the Ashe comes up, because they are going to get that, and then I think they're going to back at this point.
Yeah, I think the reason that engage was so perfect is Soraka had to use, first of all, Ashe was caught way out of position, and so Soraka had to use her ult and her heal on just to try and keep that Ashe alive, and in the end Ashe died anyway, so her ult actually was only used to try and heal Ashe, and in the end it actually didn't even save her.
Yeah.
So really good Mal's timing there. Looks like Shaco's going to be starting to take a little bit more of the enemy jungle. I mean, at this situation, that's a really good idea. It's kind of weird, Shaco taking that compared to...
Gangplank does sneak up on him here, though, and I think he's going to be forced to flash over that wall, but that does mean that Shaq's probably going to get the buff. Gangplank does flash over, so I'm going to be waiting here to see if he actually comes around, see if we can engage him off, but I think he does wisely back up, wait for the Ashe to come in. And at this point, he's critting me for 300 damage, and I decide that I will just walk away from that one.
I think Mal's went and picked up actually their red buff, which was a little bit surprising to me. While Shaco was going to get the blue, it seemed a little bit reverse. But you know, whatever works.
Red buff can be nice on Mal's, I guess. Just on.
Well, I guess it's better to have it on Mal's than anyone on the enemy team.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Just went in and stole it.
Does actually almost get hit by the Rammus there. We do stay Gangplank taking the dragon. I don't know if we actually managed to steal that, but we did get the Gangplank, and I think we're gonna kill the Rammus now. Unfortunately, we shouldn't have really been focusing this Rammus quite as hard as we did. It was just, I think, because he was there before the rest of the team, so we started attacking him, and once we had him on about half health, we didn't want to leave. So we do lose the Mal's there. Morgana and I think Ashe are both managing to get away. Thankfully, they didn't have the same mistake that we did. I think both teams were kind of focusing the tank there, so overall, lost one person and got Rammus and Gangplank, so came out ahead for us. Now the Soraka does come in, we use the taunt and the stun on her. Unfortunately, we do not get her. Yeah, Shaka gets destroyed. We're trying to pick up this Morgana, but I think she flashes or runs away there. And this is where I leave Pantheon to die. He goes back, and I just say, forget it, I'm not involving myself in this, and I just taunt myself through the wall and leave him to die. Because honestly, not anything I could really do for him, so better one death than 2.
That's true. I don't know if he was going to get the kill, I don't know why I went back in. But,
yeah.
29 to 19 is the overall kills, so it's still going good for team Arri / Brent, but you know.
What do you mean team awesome?
I mean, Gangplank's getting pretty big right now, so you gotta be careful of that.
Yeah, we take a look at Zedham's 2 Phantom Dancers, giving him huge crit strike increase. I think is up to like 60% crit strike plus the movement speed. Yeah, 25% attack speed on the Berserker's Grease. Getting a little life steal too, and then some AD damage. So AD damage, that might have been one of the stupidest things I ever said. Anyway, Gangplank, yeah, getting very buffed up here on 153 CS.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go for maybe a Bloodthirster pretty soon. Does seem like the way he's going with that. Does seem like there's going to be a lot of aggression bottom. Shaco getting caught out of position. Tons of damage going down. The ult is not going to be enough to save him. Now you're just getting caught out of position. And this is pretty snowballing there. That Gangplank is doing a ton of damage. I don't know why. The Pantheon, I guess the Pantheon did cancel in the end there. I mean, Mal's is doing quite a bit of damage, which is pretty impressive. If we do check out his items real quick, we can see that Mal's has got his Archangel Staff just recently, and he's up to 205 CS, so it's definitely working in his favor now. I mean, his Qs are doing really good damage, so if you can keep the Mal's alive long enough, and get a good ult off, it seems like that's going to be kind of what you need at this point, as, I mean, there's just so much damage coming out.
Yeah, I have picked up the Thorn Mail at this point, so that's going to be really helpful against the massive amount of damage the Gangplank is doing, and also against the Ashe to a lesser degree. I'm not quite as afraid of her at this point. So we are just going to be dancing around trying to hold this turret here. We are 1 down after Shaco died, although he is back up, so he should be joining us here. And here goes the engagement. Pantheon getting dropped really hard, but we do manage to pick up the Gangplank. Rammus coming into the turret there, so 1 for 1, and overall I think really that came out in our favor because we do want to be trying to kill that Gangplank as much as possible to keep him down, just because he's starting to get really strong.
And they're all getting pretty low. I think now would be the time to engage. Looks like the enemy team is thinking exactly the same thing. I don't know why. I don't think this is going to be a good engage for them. TF uses the ult right there. I don't think that was the best position to use his ult as he was focused pretty hard. Looks like that Ashe is going to go down. They're also low. Soraka as well is going to fall. Looks like the Ashe is going to fall next. And right on top of that, I don't know if you got the Morgana. Morgana's running away down the bottom lane. We'll see if Shaco can catch.
I think Morgana does get away here. Yeah, there goes the snare, and Morgana is going to get away. But once again, lost 1 person, killed 4 of them. So again, definitely coming out ahead. I stayed in that team fight a little bit longer than I should have. I was on pretty low health by the end of it. But I didn't die, so I can't blame it too much.
As long as you can get out alive, I mean, you want to be in as long as you can, so you definitely did very well there.
Part of the thing of playing a tank is, like, you think you're weaker than you are just because you have such a large health pool, so you're, like, 500 health looks like a really small amount when you're tanking, and you get scared even though it's actually still a decent amount. The Gangplank ult going down here, but they're just going to sit there and tank that and destroy the turret, and there's nobody really around to follow up on it. Gangplank actually coming up right as I said, of course. Yeah, he does flash over the wall. I taunt in, kill the Gangplank,
such
just
a glass
barely save the Malzahar. What?
Gangplank's build is very glass cannon-like. He does a ton of damage, but at the same time has no sustainability. As you saw, he just got absolutely melted there. I don't know if Malz used the ult there. I think he did. Used his ult. Because his ult is down.
Yeah, the ult is down right now, so he probably used it there just to try to lock down the Gangplank before we could actually kill him.
And as you can see,
I think if we have in the chat, Gangplank getting very mad and saying, target someone else, and Malzahar replying, you have the most kills, target you. Gangplank getting a little bit mad because apparently his team was all speaking like Portuguese or Spanish or something, and so he's being a little bit racist.
So it does look like 2 bottom. Again, probably, looking back on this replay, I'm not in it, but I think one of the things to work on, I mean, you can always learn stuff from playing, so definitely more wards, I think, would be a great way to take an advantage like you had early game and just completely expound upon that, because with wards, I mean, no ganks are in work when you have a ward up, and I mean, it's only 75 gold.
It's true. We do have the TF ult, which at moments like these can be really useful just for getting a sense of where everybody is, especially if you can't see another team. Even if you don't use it for an engagement, it can be valuable for the scouting information that it gives.
Definitely.
And like in this situation, for example, now we know they're not getting Baron, so that's a useful thing to know. So I think that might have been part of the reason we didn't have really any wards this game, is between that and the Shaco just being all over the map and putting the Jack in the boxes down from time to time. I don't think we felt like there was a huge need for them. We overall had a pretty strong sense of what was going on at any given time. And right around here, I think we were trying to bait them and have them come over here, make them think we were going to try to take Baron.
Good hawk shot, though. I think the hawk shot
kind of ruined that.
Might have seen that, but
now I think we actually do go for the Baron here. Yeah, Shaco engaging there, and I'm going to follow in to try to pick up the tanking on that. Fortunately, his clone is tanking for now, taking a lot of damage. But now the team comes around here. I think Rammus is in that bush. Yeah, he hits me there. I do get taunted and pulled back into that. Nice wall going down from Malz. I don't think it actually hit anyone, unfortunately. And now we do have the double ult going down.
TF taking a lot of damage. An ult to him would be spectacular, but does not happen in time. He goes down way too fast. Shaco gonna get away. There is the ult. That shield is very huge.
Yeah. By the time you get level 3, you're shielding for like 750 damage. Really nice. And then, so yeah, here we have 3 kills, and once again only losing the Twisted Fate. I think I actually tried to ult the Twisted Fate in that situation. He just went down so fast that I didn't actually have time to click him, so it's unfortunate. And here we have a little bit of a Pokemon joke going on here, for those of you in the know.
Yeah.
Gangplank complaining about my thorn now. Yeah.
But definitely, especially when there's a lot of AD on the enemy team, especially when AD is the fed portion of their team, Gangplank is probably doing the most damage on their team. And it's easy to counter. You just get a Thornmail on your tank, and suddenly now he has to think about who he's focusing. Like now he can't just all out just shoot on everyone because he's dealing 30% damage to him or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think our Pantheon also had picked up a Thornmail at this point, so both of us are turning 30% damage whenever we get attacked. It's going to be very useful against those AD champs, especially like if I'm getting the taunt off on the Gangplank, he's forced to attack me at that point, and I do take a lot of damage, but at the same time it returns so much of it that I'd say it's usually worth it to do that in the team fights.
I'm a little bit surprised about the Pantheon getting the Thornmail. I mean, he doesn't really have the health pool to be returning. He's only at just under 2k, whereas you, it makes a lot more sense. You're just over 3k. So, I mean, that extra, I mean, that's a lot of extra damage when it comes down to it that you can take and deal back. So maybe getting some more health. He seems to have gone like 100% AD up to that point, but now it just seems like he's throwing in that, I don't know, just doesn't seem 100%. So the ult from Gangplank keeping you off the turret does look like it's going to go down. Pantheon ult coming down. Who is it going to catch? Oh!
Catches Morgana. Fortunately, she has the combination of Spell Shield and Zonia. She gets away. We take out the Ashe there, try to get the Soraka. I don't think we're going to, but we do. Actually, we do get the Soraka. Gangplank, I think, flashed away there. Does he even have flash? Yes, he does.
Gangplank has a
so he's
ton
going to
of
get away.
movement.
Twisted Fate tries to come with the ult. Gold cards him, but he uses the orange to get away from that one, because somehow when you are stunned, you still have the physical strength to put an orange in your mouth. Shaco actually getting really greedy here, ends up going for the turrets. I kind of wish I had ulted him there because I think he probably could have gotten the kill and gotten away safely, but I just actually didn't expect Shaco to go that far, and so I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that he did, and as a result I didn't ult him when I should have, so partly my bad there.
I mean, you did get inhib. I mean, it was a little bit of a kind of a really bad death there.
Another one of those messed up taunts I was talking about where I just completely missed it.
Letting Arri die again.
Yeah, the taunt does take him out though, and Arri does get the ace there, so now we're just going to be able to push this for a little while, although we're not entirely sure where to push, and since there's only two of us, we don't want to be trying to tank a turret just because we don't think we really have the strength to pick it up. I don't know what I'm saying. Twisted Fate talking about his stacks now though, and he does have 15 stacks of Mage Eyes at this point, so 120 extra AP going to be doing a lot for him. Always very nice.
Yeah, I would have liked to see maybe TF go top and push that because it's pushing itself. I mean, you could have definitely got that turret in the time that they were down, but I mean, you know, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, we weren't really sure where to be pushing at that point, so we ended up not really pushing anywhere. A little bit of a mistake on our part, but I guess when you only have two people, it's kind of hard to really decide what you should be pushing and to push anything.
So 42 to 24. I mean, the team fights are definitely going very well for your team right now. And I think that last engage was very, very, very good for your team. Pantheon, actually, it was really fortunate. Morgana flashed, and then the ult probably showed up right on her screen right as she flashed, and she was caught right dead center in the flash, which took out about 1/4 of her health right off the bat, plus stunning her, which ended her ult. Gangplank using his ult there, I don't think 100% necessary, but
yeah, I mean, on the bright side, probably like, I'm not really sure how he actually knew Shaq was there. I don't know if they have that warded or something. I can't really see on the replay, or he might have been using that just to get the site and see if we're doing that. Twisted Fate does come in there with the ult men just to stun her. She does heal herself back up, and we do get the kill there. Now, I think there was another kill around here. Yeah, we got the kill on the Ashe. We're gonna try to get the Gangplank, but then we see the Rams coming around. Arri flashes over the wall and leaves me to die, but then the rest of the team comes in, so we are okay. And at this point, they're just gonna back up. We're not really gonna have an engage, and I think we decided to go for Baron at this point.
Yeah, now's the time you definitely want to do it. Two of them down.
Actually, maybe
doesn't look like you are gonna end up going up for it, but I mean,
yeah, I guess not. I thought we did. It's weird. Yeah. Oh well.
So let's go back and look at some.
And now
CS.
Here we go. We actually do decide to get Baron now. After Mounds recalls, of course. Yeah, if you look at CS, 255 for Arri there, so that's going to be really nice.
So he does have another needlessly large rod. He's probably going for that Zonia's now, which is a very nice item, I have to say. So it's that its passive or its active is extremely, extremely good. It doesn't look like
Zonia's Hourglass
to get it. Yep, Zonia's Hourglass.
For those of you who don't know, the active ability on it basically just puts you in this little stasis for about 2 seconds so that you you can't do anything, but you also can't take damage. So it's really useful for mitigating damage if you use it at the right time.
Yeah.
Although one thing Arri was actually saying on this call is that he hates getting Zonias just because he always forgets to use it. And I actually have a similar issue with my Randuins. You'll see I have picked it up here, and it does have the active ability which slows the movement and attack speeds of units around you. And I just always forget to use that in team fights, which is really bad. But we did get Baron there. We do have Baron. Admittedly, we don't actually use it very well here. We don't get any kind of great push while we do have the Baron, so that's a little bit unfortunate. We do group up middle and try to go a little bit, but I think we've already pushed this turret, so it's not really the greatest place for us to be pushing. We should probably be going like up top and try to take out this turret here.
I think I would like to see 4 pushing mid and then Shaco pushing top lane, getting that split push, maybe TF pushing bottom at the same time, because I mean TF has so much mobility, Shen has so much mobility, Pantheon has so much mobility.
Yeah, we have a lot of global ults on this team, which is very nice, even after the nerfs on Twisted Fate and Pantheon.
Using his ult there, just I guess seeing who's around. I don't know exactly if it was worth it. I mean, you already knew basically where everyone was, so didn't really do.
Yeah, I think he might have been expecting like a little bit of an engage there. I was going to try to catch somebody out of position to start that off, but
so I'm a little surprised now. Mouse is top pushing. I would have probably liked to see Shaco go top. It looks like they're all heading up in that general direction.
I think Mal's went up there mostly because he has the best farm, and so he wanted to farm the huge creep wave, which is understandable. And it's always nice to get that extra gold for your Mal's because he can be a very nice AP carry if
like
you get him
Shaco
buffed
being a
up.
team player, getting the dragon for the team while the push is going on. I'd really like to see that Shaco push bottom lane, get the split pushing going because Shaco's such a strong pusher, impossible to catch.
Yeah, so we are going to finally try to push around here a little bit. Arri and I getting caught a little bit out of position, actually, ending up on the wrong side of that. I just decided to charge past this, try to take the turret once again, missing the Tauntaun Gangplank. Surprise, surprise. Like I said, something about this Gangplank, I just cannot hit him. The ult did go down right about there to try to keep us back, and now we do manage to get the inhibitor.
Arrow.
I think the arrow did go down. No, we don't manage to get the inhibitor, just has a little bit of health left, and that it does stay up, and they managed to force off of that. That Ashe has Guardian Angels now, which not the worst choice since she was actually getting focused pretty hard and going down pretty fast, so she is going to be able to do more damage now that she has that. So, if we look at her other items, she has, actually this is glitching out a little bit, we have Bloodthirster, so attack damage and lifesteal, Infinity Edge for more attack damage, and Boots of Swiftness. So, pretty standard build to see an Ashe going. That lifesteal and Guardian's Angel is going to help her out with survivability and keep her up for longest so she can do more damage. I think Shaco is going back up here to try to get the inhibitor, but he is not going to be able to get it.
Inhibitor is down, actually.
No, it's actually up.
It hasn't refreshed. The animation's different when it's down.
No, I think the animation is glitching out because normally, even if the health bars are glitching out in the replay, you're able to click on it. I don't think
if
it
we
went
look
down.
at what's spawning, though, we can probably tell if it must be up because I mean normal minions are spawning. So
yeah. Oh, no, actually, we do have a super creep here, so I don't really know. That's weird. I didn't think normally I could click on an inhibitor when it's down, but whatever. So yeah, we were going to try to push this up top a little bit. The entire team did come up here, and we're not really doing a great job with the split pushing here, unfortunately. Shaco going off to jungle a little bit there. Twisted Fate going down, and here is the ult. I'm gonna see, I guess he just used that to actually get in and farm this a little bit faster, so interesting use of the TF ult, to say the least.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him slow push with his ult up so that he can always just get out. I mean, I don't know, he seems to use it at pretty weird times, and now he's running into kind of a precarious situation. Not the one that I would want to be in. Looks like he's gonna go grab the blue buff here.
Yeah, try to take the enemy blue buff there. Their entire team is missing, so I'm a little bit worried for this Twisted Fate right now, although actually we do see the Gangplank and the Rammus in mid.
That Gangplank has ridiculous moves or attack speed.
Let's see if we look at the Gangplank.
2 Bloodthirsters on him. If we check the stacks on that, he's starting to get them stacked up. Definitely not full yet. I'd like to see maybe them just give a lot of farm to both Ashe and Gangplank just to get both their Bloodthirsters up, so that the next team fight they can get the lifesteal plus the Soraka ult, and I think they would be a lot better off. Personally.
Yeah. So we are going to try to push up bottom a little bit here. Their entire team is meanwhile congregated in mid, but I think they do see us down bottom. They're going to start coming around this direction now. Twisted Fate going around the side to scout out a little bit there. And we're all going to be pushing up here. The Gangplank ult does go down to try to keep us back there. And actually does a good job. Nice wall going down. You can see how hard Miles actually hits once he gets his AP up, doing a lot of damage just with that basic wall. We are going to come in this bush and try to wait for the engage. I have picked up my Sunfires at this point, so I'm going to be doing a little extra magic damage to everybody around me. Always a nice thing to have, once again.
Plus the armor never hurts.
Although this is one thing I hate about Sunfire. I aggro wolves every time I run past. So annoying. We do have, once again, most of their team around here. Shaco going up the back and try to split push a little bit, I guess, or not.
I don't know. I think this is their team is something that's just so hard to push against. I mean, especially, oh my god, the Shack was crazy.
He's stealth though, so it's okay.
Well, now he's not stealth. So that's the problem.
Run, Shaco, run! Twisted Fate coming in, trying to get the stun off on the Soraka there.
I think the problem is the team's just getting really antsy. They want to initiate and just against this team comp that you're against, using yours, it's just very hard to poke, especially even with buffs and stuff. So looks like they're done. I don't know if
Shaco getting a little bit caught out there, using his little teleport to get ahead. Stun on the Gangplank, but I think he does get away with those heals. Pantheon coming in here, but not really going to catch anybody in the ult. We do manage to ult the Rammus. Right there, Shaco very mad because Scooby flashed away and left Shaco to take the ult. Here we do manage to get the Rammus down, I think. I finally used the Randoins. No, we don't manage to get it. He goes down. I get the Soraka as well. Now Morgana is coming after me, trying to kill me. I'm at very low health. Running away, there's the bind, just misses me, and I do pop Ghost and manage to get away from that one, just barely, so very close there. I don't think we came out ahead there, 3 for 4, so no we did not.
Yeah.
Although we did manage to kill Gangplank once again, so that's a plus.
I mean, it does reset his stacks, which is always good, but at this point it's not, at this point you can't be just trading and losing the trading kills because the spawn times are so long that losing them is, I mean, really hard to deal with.
Yeah, at this point I realized that I was the only person up and instantly became very scared. Because I realized that for about the next 20 seconds, they were going to probably be pushing pretty hard. There are only 2 of them up, so there's not actually a lot they can do to push with this comp.
Yeah, Baron respawned, so says the minimap. That would be about the time that it does respawn. It's probably been up for a little while. But, I mean, I don't know, the engage there was just not 100%. The Rammus was caught out of position, but I mean, Rammus can pretty much go where he wants as long as his team's around.
I think the problem is that we were kind of split up, like, some of us over here in this area, and then some of us over here.
Personally, I think that would have been 100% better if Mal's decided to ult Rammus and then cut that off, like, almost right after he started to flash away from the arrow. So basically wasted his ult in that fight, so that's a ton of damage. I mean, if we look at Mal's right now, he's very, very scary. Full items,
or triple potted here, full items. Guardian Angel is just, he actually said he got the Guardian Angels because he always forgets to use the Zonias. She does flash away. The Gangplank ult goes down. He managed to taunt and ult the Gangplank, but he does get away from that using that really annoying orange. Though once again, he can eat even when his entire body is suppressed.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the problem with.
It's one of those things you forget
Gangplank.
though when you're playing. It looks like TF getting caught out of position there a little bit. That's surprising. But I mean, it's one of those things as Malice, you're like, oh my god, I caught finally this Gangplank out of position. You ult him and then he just cleanses it.
Yeah, I'm always. I do taunt over the wall and actually run in the completely wrong direction here and still manage to make it away. But it's always one of those things that's been a little questionable in terms of balance to me. If, say, the way Gangplank's orange worked is that he ate it and then it gave him a buff where he was immune to stuff like that for a short amount of time, similar to the Olaf ult, that I would understand. But things like the Gangplank orange or the Olaf ult that you can actually use while you're suppressed to break the suppression, that's always seemed a little weird to me because it's basically a hard counter to any kind of ult that stuns you, and it seems like if you use it beforehand, that's good because you're anticipating it, and you're anticipating that you might get ulted or stunned or suppressed or something, and that shows skill, but otherwise it's really just, oh, I got ulted, I should press this button and I'm going to be safe. So it's always been a little questionable in terms of balance to me, the way things like that work.
I see where you're coming from. I think it kind of makes Gangplank who he is, though. He definitely would be a lot weaker without that, and it's one of those things, yes, it's a little bit cheap, but I mean, it's just one of those things that then a player that revolves around suppression, like Malzahar, then just has to make sure he doesn't use his ult on that character, you know?
Yeah.
And Gangplank is one of those heroes that just has to be focused down and really you have to take the time to deal with him. And I'd like to see a little bit more ward coverage. As you can see now, they are at Baron. Can't see the health exactly on it, so I don't know if they're going to get it.
And Twisted Fate does try to ult in there, but completely misses that cone in the attempt to steal it. So they are going to get Baron, they are going to engage now. Pantheon leaping in first. The ult goes down. This is not a good engage for our team overall. The Zonia's from Morgana. Mal's tried to ult somebody there. His Guardian Angel does trigger now, and I don't think we actually got any kills there. Yeah, that was a really bad engage for us.
They can't push, unfortunately, just because Shaco's doing a very good backdooring job. I think right now Shaco is going to keep you in the game. He can just push mid for the win, and they have to recall right now, else they are going to lose.
Yeah, they do. I think 3 people actually recall to try to deal with that. Morgana, Ashe, and Soraka all go back to try to take care of that. So maybe a little bit overkill. He is just going to run away, and I think he's going to make it out of there okay. Maybe not, actually, now that the Ashe is here.
I think he's going to just...
Yeah, there he goes.
So
Flashes over the wall.
Well,
now,
he has his Q, jump,
yeah.
to see if...
Looks like Gangplank is in our base now, though, and he's actually going to be doing a lot of damage, taking out one of these turrets here. Rammus is just going to be tanking that really effectively, so he is going to get that turret down. But at this point, there are so many minions that it's going to force them back, and we're not really going to be able to push that for the time being. Shaco kills, like 2 shots Gangplank there. So much damage from that Shaco, and Gangplank not a happy camper at this point.
Looks like that Rammus is going to be okay. The Powerball. Very, very effective for running away, although...
Yeah, I think Shaco does actually overextend a bit trying to get this and find where that Rammus ran off to. He does flash over the wall to try to get it, doing some nice damage. I think, actually, he's going to do a lot of damage here. They're both going down, and I'm not really sure who's going to win this one. Oh, heal from Soraka, and that breaks it. He does flash away, though, and he is going to get out alive.
What a flash.
Unfortunately, not getting the kill, though, so... Probably would have gotten it if it wasn't for that Soraka heal.
But he did bait the Soraka
and those global
Soraka
heals. Yeah, I think Soraka actually did a very good job, though, holding off on the heal until the last second so that Shaco would stay longer than he should have, because if she had used that heal early on, Shaco would have immediately said, I'm not going to win this, and tried to run away. But she waited until the last second so that Shaco was on
where this TF is going. This TF is crazy.
Where did this TF go to, actually?
He went bottom for the Morgana. Didn't get the kill. He's very, very. He likes his ult. We'll put it that way. He does use that just to like go a couple feet, which I mean, you know, it's not a pretty short cooldown. It's not terrible.
Yeah, Mal's has quadrupoded at this point. Has all his items.
I don't even know why he's CSing at this point.
Yeah. Doesn't even need the oracles. Pretty much just getting that because he can. He has nothing else to spend his money on. And at this point, I was actually getting kind of annoyed at just stealing all the CS. I was saying, you know, not all of us have finished our build, so I would like some of this money. Because I'm still trying to get a little bit more, I think, building up to my Guardian Angels at this point.
Yeah, the nice thing is if you have so much money, every time you use your Guardian Angel, you can just sell it and rebuy a new one for the... so you don't have to wait the 15 minutes, which is... pretty funny. I mean, this is what I want to see. I want to see.
Does that actually work? Because I thought Guardian Angel like put a debuff on you. That like if we look at Mal's right now, he has this debuff here. It says he can't be revived for a Guardian Angel.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it worked. Could be wrong.
Maybe it's been changed in like a recent patch or something. They changed.
Again with that ult. I know, man.
Yeah, the ult did split us up a little bit, which could have been good if they had run around here. They probably could have caught Mal's out of position and done some damage. But
that TF does so much damage. If he looks at his stacks, I want to see how much he has. So much.
Only 6 stacks of Mage has, actually.
Wow.
I guess he got killed rather recently, so that's kind of surprising. Pantheon does go in there and get dropped really hard.
I don't know what that Pantheon.
Not very smart on his part, I have to say. We are now going to be running away. Rammus does come in with the Powerball here. I think I'm going to tank that one. No, he actually kind of goes back and forth, not really sure what to do, and he does end up just running away. And our Shaco did just die somewhere. I think he was trying to charge up here and just like backdoor them again while they were all gone, just sneak in and kill their base. He's going to keep trying to do that for pretty much the whole game, I think. And admittedly, it actually
top inhibitor did go down, so I think he probably got that. Which is good for keeping them in their base.
Actually, it says this inhibitor is up right now.
I think it's up because of the minimap.
Yeah. animation's glitching out a little bit, I guess, since we can't see it. So
Looks like they're gonna keep Morgana behind. Push with 4. That TF does so much damage.
yeah, so they are going to be pushing into our base. A little worried here since we only have one turret between them and our Nexus, so we're going to try to be keeping them away from that, keeping them off of that. They are all going to start attacking this. They do so much damage to this turret because they have 2 AD carries on our team. Twisted Fate's going to go down there. Mal's does ult someone. I didn't see who. I think it might have been the Rammus. They do get this turret, and so we are desperately trying to keep them back. I think I die here, actually. I get taunted by the Rammus. We do manage to push the Ashe away, but she has Guardian, so we don't actually go for the kill. Nice arrow there to hit the Mouse. Trying to take out the Soraka there, and then the Pantheon comes out, takes out the Rammus, and we do manage to force them off, so keeping our Nexus at full health, but we did lose both towers.
Yeah, Arri did go full rage there and just, I don't know what he was doing.
We just still have 2 towers up here protecting this inhibitor, 2 towers here protecting this inhibitor, so they really just have been pushing mid. So right now I think we're just going to try to basically base race them more or less. I think I know somewhere in here there was a point where they're in our base, meanwhile Shaco's just up in their base and we're pretty much base racing it. That might have already happened actually, I don't remember exactly. So right now Shaco's going to charge in again, take out this inhibitor because it does so much damage with that clone up. They do get that, the clone goes after Ashe there, and they are pretty much going to charge in. He's going to see if he can take out this turret, and I think he actually might get it just because it does so much damage, but he's not quite going to have the strength to take out that Nexus before he's forced away. I do ult to him to try to give him a little extra time and see if we can get in the base, take out this inhibitor.
Another inhibitor.
We do have the Guardian Angels at this point. So we are now running around their base. The ult goes down from Gangplank, Shaq goes down, I'm running away here. Rest of the team still down there a little bit. I am up here with Pantheon right now.
It's going to take so long for you to die, though. You have Guardians, Angels, plus a ton of health.
Gangplank actually got the Guardian Angels, too, which is going to be very useful for him, keeping him alive to do a little bit extra damage. Pantheon jumping in there. I think we killed the Gangplank once. We're hovering around, waiting for him to respawn so we can kill him again. He does come back up, and we instantly hit him with the gold card from TF that just drops him hard.
Yeah, so getting definitely overzealous there with that Gangplank. That actually is going to be extremely bad for the red team. I think at this point you could just pretty much push to win. Don't think they have enough damage to stop you if you just all just...
Yeah, I think we're pretty much just going to charge in at this point, try to take the
It's like Pantheon's ulting to the Nexus.
Yeah, he's just going to charge in there, guns blazing, try to take out this Nexus. I don't think he's going to do enough damage before he goes down.
That's not what you want to do.
Pretty fast, yeah. So not the best of plays, but we're just going to be pushing at this point, trying to take out this Nexus, catching the Rammus a little bit forward there, but not enough damage to kill him. Mal's running forward, just trying to take this out. I charge in now, trying to take this out as well. Mal's does have the Guardian Angel, so that's going to keep him alive. A lot of Guardian Angels on everybody, actually. So much chaos going on at this point. I think we take out the Soraka there, and now we're just trying to attack this Nexus. I'm getting really weak. I forget I have Guardian Angels here, so I do actually come back and just try to keep attacking this Nexus. I guess I killed an Ashe in there. Twisted Fate ults in to kill that Morgana, and she goes down fast. I die right there, I think, but the Guardian Angel protects, and I come back up and we do get the Nexus. So, very close game. I actually didn't think we were going to win that one for a while when they had the Gangplank and the Rammus in our base pushing. I thought they were going to have enough damage to take out our Nexus before everyone came back up.
I definitely think the Gangplank getting a little overzealous and going for you on that, and getting caught out of position there, even with the Guardian Angel, and when he ended up dying, that was definitely pretty much GG. I think overall you did have the advantage going into that. I mean, Mal's just did so much damage.
Yeah.
Crazy fed. So overall, a good game. Hopefully we can bring you guys more and more of these with the ever increasing. I think they're coming up with a actual LOL recorder.
I know they're doing a spectator mode. I don't know if they're doing an official replay function or not, but we'll keep an eye out for that. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're going to be trying to bring some more LOLcasts in the future. Maybe we can actually get Tony into some of them. As I mentioned, I will put the link to where I got the replay recorder in the description below, and my computer hasn't crashed yet, so I'm pretty sure it's safe. It's legit. It's not going to blow up your computer either. So if you guys want that, check the description. I'll put the link down there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Au revoir.